So this is a setup and use instructional video for the XbotGo Chameleon. So this is an AI sports camera man is what it calls it. So you're going to need to use your phone with this. This is the tracker and the computerized part, but your phone will attach to it. And I'm going to show you all the things about the setup and how this works and how to manage your videos and as you get them from using this. So when you first open the device, what you have is the piece itself, which goes on top of a tripod. It's set up to mount on top. And it comes with a remote. It comes with an instruction booklet, and this is its charging cable. So you want it to be charged before you go to use it. So far its charge has held up well in the ways that we have used it. So this is the one that our coach purchased, and for our team to review or to keep our videos and to review them. So it has a USB-C charging port, so you probably already have some cables like that, but it comes with one. So plug it in to charge it, and while it's charging you need to get the app on your phone. So the XbotGo app is what you're going to have to use with this. I'm going to talk a little bit about storage and the size of files in a minute, but so once you have the app on your phone, you're going to create an account. So just create your own account to use the device, and what we found is multiple people can connect to the same device. So basically whoever's holding it and turns it on and connects it to their phone, they have control of it. So then once you have it set up, once you have your app and your account set up, you can pair the device. You'll need to have Bluetooth turned on your phone to use this. So I'm using an iPhone 15 Pro Max. The reason I bought it was to film sports. So I've had it almost 2 years, and it has an excellent camera and does a really good job with sports because it has a good zoom with it. And I'll talk a little bit more about using it for file sizes as we go. So you'll notice on the app, you have you're going to connect these devices individually. So the remote actually connects to your phone, not to the device on top, and then it will recognize it and you can connect. So I didn't have any trouble connecting these. It is possible you'd have to go into your Bluetooth settings to add the devices depending on which phone you're using and how easily it connects, but mine connected directly to these. So the remote offers a few functions to use with the XbotGo Chameleon. An option when you purchase an Xbot is its tripod, and you need a tall tripod. So turn it on, get it set up while it's down here, and then you're going to raise the tripod pretty much as high as you can get it. The higher the better in terms of its ability to capture the action and see the field. So you want to set it up at midfield for soccer. For whatever sport, I think you're going to be in the middle. But for soccer, you want to be at midfield or as close as you can get. You do not have to be close, super close to the field. I think 5 to 10 feet back is probably a good angle for the camera. So I've been taking my phone case off when I use it because it's hard to fit my phone case in. I'm going to show you this in just a minute, but your phone's going to go in here, and then there's a thumb screw on the back to tighten it in. So let's talk for just a minute about the settings as you start to video. I'm going to screen record this as well so it will be clearer. Once I hit the orange video button, it gives me the options of sports that I can be recording. For our purposes here, we're doing soccer. And then it asks what size. So you can go all the way from tiny kid, small field, 5v5, to large field, over 14. So you want to set it to the appropriate because it's an AI recording and what it needs to do. So it's going to give you a few setup pointers then as you open it here. The height of the tripod. You want it as high as you can get it though. Alright, so I'm going to change the settings here to the video resolution that I want. So this is an important thing, I think. So 4K is what I like to video in. That's going to be the best resolution, and it's going to play back best on a large screen such as your home TV. 4K 24 FPS, 24 frames per second is what I like to video in. However, I'll explain in just a bit. You may need to go with a 1080p 25 or 30 frames per second, or the default 1080p. So if you do have to go with that, that's fine. But if you can, 4K is better. It's going to take up more space, as I will talk to in just a moment. So because the tripod height is going to increase, I would go ahead and start it recording while it's down here. And then you can start moving the tripod up high. I'm not going to do it here in the yard, but this tripod will go up to 12, 14 feet, I think. So that's where you want it. So it's gonna be recording now. And so unfortunately you're going to catch that opening part while you're recording. So one thing the remote will do is while you're recording, it will mark significant plays. So if you're videoing soccer and there's a goal, and so you want to remember where that is, you can push the button on the remote. Okay, so I haven't had a chance to play with the remote a whole lot, and so you probably want to figure this out before you start, because it's not the most intuitive in terms of what it does. So I'm going to see if we can get these lights to show up here. It's pretty bright out here, but so the remote has a few different things it will do, and you change its function by hitting this. So right now it's on mark, and so if I hit the button, this is going to mark a play. If I hit this, I move to video. Here now it's set where I can start and stop the video. So if I wanted to start and stop it while it's up on the tripod, we're just going to do this. So we just started a new video. So that's with the light. There are two lights that come on when you hit this button. Again, I may have to video this part inside, but when we are on video camera, then the main button here will start and stop the video. And so you could do that. I don't recommend starting and stopping the video during the game, just video from start to finish. And it's just easier to upload that way. You don't have to do editing, so you want it to continue the whole time. But here's the function that I was missing in our initial, so the one with the arrows to the side and up. This allows you to use the remote to move the camera, as you see. So you can see the camera moving. So why do you need to move the camera if it's an auto tracking? I'm going to explain that in just a second. But I actually been doing this with my watch, but I can see now it's going to be easier to use the remote. So I'm still learning, but that's how it's going to work. So how do you tell if it's recording the game where you need it to be? So it's a pretty wide angle. So as long as it's pointed in the right direction, you know, it's way up here once it's doing the soccer match. But you're going to be able to tell, you know, it's pointed at the right side of the field. So it does do some automatic zooming in and out. So that's a good function it has. It doesn't zoom. So when I say it zooms in, so it's going to go from showing half the field to maybe a little less than half. It's going to zoom in like when the action is far away. So the device's ability to keep up with the ball. So this is where during the game I've been keeping an eye on it, and it doesn't always track well with the ball. So what do I mean? Well, if there's a dead ball and nothing's happening on the field, then the camera can get bored and go looking for action somewhere else. And so the ball's on this side of the field, it's dead, it's like a goal kick, and you see the camera start panning to the other side of the field. Well, that's an instance where you can use the remote to bring it back to the action immediately where the ball is, and that way you won't miss anything. Now, the camera will eventually pick the action back up, but if you want to give a little intervention that way, you can, to make sure it gets everything. Now, we've watched a lot of sports videos using other cameras. The VO camera is the most popular one out there, the green one that goes up high on the stand. So with the VO, I've noticed it will miss the action sometimes in terms of its tracking. So it's the same. It's going to be the same with the XbotGo. It's occasionally going to miss something, but even when you watch on TV from the professionals, sometimes the ball gets away because it gets kicked too quickly and they have to move the camera to get there. So not a big deal. You just don't want to miss anything. So we did miss a goal against us in a game last weekend because the camera had not reacted quickly enough. So it had been, there was a throw in this way, and the throw in came in, and then the ball was moved quickly down the field and a goal was scored, and the camera had not yet caught up to the action. So is that going to happen? Occasionally, but it's going to catch a very high percentage of the action out there. I won't put a number on it, but if I had to guess, 95 to 98% of the action is going to be caught on the camera without intervention. So again, you can use the remote to move the camera as you need to when you notice it's not pointing in the right way. And so I think this is most helpful in soccer when the game's getting ready to start. So the kickoff's going to be in the middle, but there's no action really happening. The ball's not being kicked around, so the camera hasn't found anything to latch onto. Well, you may have to center it at the beginning of the game or start of anytime there's a kickoff, you may have to put it back in the middle so that it will catch that. So just something to keep an eye on. So obviously when the game is finished, you want to stop the recording. So you can either do that with the remote, or you can do it just by pushing the stop button on your camera screen, just like any other time you're shooting a video. And I'll talk about what to do with the video files next. After you take it down, you can power off the machine. I would assume it has an auto off function. So it has 4 battery lights on the front. Right now they're all lit up, so that means the battery life is good. I do not know yet how long the battery life will last, but I haven't seen these lights get very low yet. Okay, so coming back to the XBot app, and I'll put my screen sharing also. But where are the videos once you have recorded them? Well, on here in the app, they're going to be under files. And so what we were just shooting right here is 1, 2, 3 videos out here. So we just captured these. Now, XBot actually provides a cloud service up to a point. So what I've found is you can use up to 20 gigabytes of storage in the cloud. So you can upload a game and then share it through their cloud, but I haven't done it that way. Let me explain why. So 20 gigabytes will hold some video, but when I have videoed in 4K, a typical soccer match by itself is going to be more than 20 gigabytes, and that's just one. So that's where storage issues really come into play. How are you going to store all this on your phone? Where are you going to keep this? And uploading to the cloud. So even if you're under 20 gigabytes, it's going to take you a long time to upload that, especially if you're not on a fast Wi-Fi. So one of the problems I've had videoing sports is when we're on the road, I can't get a good upload in a hotel or anywhere. So I've tried to upload videos before, and it actually says it's going to take 10 hours to upload a 4K video of a soccer match. And we just can't do that. It probably wouldn't work anyway. What do you do with the recordings? Well, if you are going to record in 1080p, so that's that smaller setting, then you probably can upload a few games and stay under that 20 gigabyte point. So that is a possibility. So I'm also going to show you how to use this, because I think this is going to be an important part of keeping and moving videos. So this is what I use. I have a couple of these, and this is 1 terabyte of storage that connects to my phone. And I just move the videos from my phone to this to store them, and then I can put them on my computer or upload directly from this later, depending on what I feel like doing. So this is an SSD, solid state drive, And my phone is a 256 gigabyte storage, and a lot of that is in use with apps. So it's not just how many photos and videos can I store, but the apps on my phone actually take up more storage than photos and videos. So I move longer videos with an SSD so I can move them and store them and keep them. And so this just plugs in to the phone. Moving a file though from the XbotGo does require a little bit of explanation. So alright, so I've found that I can't actually move the videos from the app directly onto my external drive. So what I have to do, and I'm using an iPhone, so this may be different for you, but I have to go into Files. So in Files then, I'm going to select on my phone, and then I'm going to select XbotGo. And then I come down to the Blink folder. So XBot is part of, if you've heard of Blink devices, is related to them. So what I did there is I clicked on Blink, and then I'm going to click on the file, the folder name with the date. So today is July 31st, so I'm going to click there. And then it's going to show me the videos that I shot today. So I'm going to move one of these, I'm going to long press and press copy. Now I'm going to go back to the initial screen of my folders. Now I'm going to select Extreme SSD. That's the name of this external drive. And I'm going to paste. So copy and paste. Now you can see the new video is being populated here on the drive. And so this drive will move pretty fast. I've been able to move 90-minute soccer games, and it takes less than a minute to move it to the drive. So much easier solution than trying to upload. So with an SSD like this in your phone, you don't have to do anything else. You can just pop it out and the file should be on there. And then you can put it on a computer or however else you need to handle the file after that. That is saved there. So a 1 terabyte drive like this one, let's say every soccer match was 25 gigabytes. So that would be 40. You could put 40 soccer matches on this drive for storage, approximately. All right, so finally, weighting down the tripod, we have this bag of weights with it. Put them down here. You can also hang like a backpack or something on one of these as it comes up. And so weighting it down will help the video actually be better because it won't shake as much. But it's also important because you can get a gust of wind that knocks a large tripod over. And so I've actually seen a VO camera get blown over that destroyed it. And you don't want this to fall from 16, 14 feet up in the air and hit the ground. So try to keep it weighted down. And if there is a big gust of wind, obviously you might want to put a hand on it as well. So there are a few soccer matches videoed with this on my channel. I leave the watermark on the video so you can see, but I'll link to one of those in the description below if you want to take a look at that and just see what you're getting with the XBot in terms of video quality. Again, the phone I'm using with it is one of the better phone cameras out there, and I think it does a pretty good job. I've been videoing soccer and learning and getting better at it for a couple of years, and you could argue that this does better by itself with my phone than I do. So I think that making a case for its use. So if you like to see people's faces and up close things, this is probably not what you're looking for. This is more of a big picture, see the field, see all the players, and be able to see what's going on type of video system. And if you want to get faces in a soccer match, you're going to need something. You can do that with a good smartphone, but you're probably going to need a camera that can zoom better and do other things. So this is really not for that. This is for picking up the larger play and keeping up with things. Now, with that said, there are a few things you can do with this that I haven't tested out yet. So one of the things you can do with this is have it track an individual person on the field instead of the game. So if you only wanted to film your person out there, then you could actually set it on them, tag them in there, push, I think that's on the screen, and you set it, hey, this is the player I want to track. You touch the screen there where it does that, and then it should track them. Now, I haven't tested that function out yet. I doubt if I will, but it's there. I've tried that with some other similar devices, and it hasn't done well, especially once a player gets into a crowd. They have trouble figuring that out. And finally, if all else fails, there is an instruction book in the box.